Hey everyone, it's Rose. Cher isn't with me. I am going to be filming a video today where I paint me some Nikes and tell you all a story time about the time I almost had to drop out of college, or take a semester off of college, I guess is more accurate. So let's go ahead and we'll jump right into it. All right, so these are like a cheap version of Air Force Ones. They're called Women's Nike Court Vision Low. I thought they looked enough like Air Force Ones, and I thought it would be cool to paint them. My goal is to paint them in this pale green, like sage green color, which is gonna be my wedding color. So I thought it would be fun to try to do that, and then maybe like as I'm getting ready with my bridesmaids and my bridesmen, I could wear these. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I like the color sage green anyway, so either way I'm gonna wear them in my real life. So I have my paint. I was contemplating some black, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the sage green. And I have two brushes here. I'm an artist by no means whatsoever, but it is what it is. We'll see how it turns out. So let's talk a little bit before I get into this about, and I also hope I didn't make a mistake by wearing a white shirt. I probably did. So let's talk about my sophomore year of college and how I almost had to take a semester off. So I was in school. I did a program, it's called 3+3, so you do 3 years of undergrad and then 3 years of grad school. And the goal is to go year-round so that you get your doctorate for physical therapy in 6 years rather than 7. Which meant that you couldn't like miss a class. Like they scheduled your classes for you because it was important to get the classes done this semester, you know, in this time frame so that you could graduate on time from undergrad to go into grad school. Well, my winter break of my sophomore year, I believe it was, I was with my boyfriend and we went sled riding with his nephew. And it was the winter, I think it was 2010, I believe. For whatever reason, the winter was really weird in Pennsylvania. It would like snow and then rain, and then the rain would freeze on top of the snow and it would snow again. So like the hills to sled ride were like ice, and like you would just fly down these things. And they had made a jump at the bottom of the hill. And when we went out this particular day, because it was so icy on this hill, we were like flying. So we would only start like halfway up the hill instead of all the way to the top of the hill to go down, because to hit the jump, because it was like insanity, because you were going so fast. And I didn't like going over the jump because I wasn't very good at steering my sled, so I'd like hit the jump wrong and like fly this way instead of like straight, and it was like all over the place. They were like, you know, go over the jump, and I was like, fine. So I'm like halfway up this hill and it's icy and stuff, and I was like not going because I was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. So my boyfriend pushed me, so that momentum on top of the fact that it was icy and we were just already flying, I hit this jump and I flew off of my sled and landed on my feet. And when I landed on my feet, I felt like a snap, and like I just laid there in pain, and I was like convinced I'd broken my leg. And so I like stand up, they like get me up, my boyfriend and all of them rush down the hill, and they get me up on my feet, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I just broke my leg, and they're like, no you didn't, walk it off, walk it off. And his nephew, who was probably like 8 maybe at the time, was like, you're really white, because I got really like nauseous and like I felt like I was gonna throw up. And so they pulled me on a sled back to his house, and I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to take me to the emergency room because I'm pretty sure I broke my leg. He gets in my car and he starts driving me to the emergency room, and I call my mom, and on the way she goes, I don't think you broke your leg, just go home and put some ice on it. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I broke it. So she ends up meeting me at the emergency room. They take me back, and one of the physician's assistants sees me and he starts moving my leg around, and I can feel stuff moving in my leg, like bones. he was like, oh yeah, I should stop doing that because I can feel something moving. And I was like, yeah. So they take an x-ray of of my leg, and I go back in the room and they were like, yeah, you've broken your leg and you separated your ankle joint, so we're gonna have to do surgery and put pins in your ankle in order to put it all back together. And I was like, what? I had never broken a bone before in my life. I had never had like a really major surgery. I had surgery on my mouth, but no like going under anesthesia kind of surgery. So I was like freaking out. And anyway, so they scheduled the surgery for like 2 days from then or something. And I go home. And this was during my winter break. I probably still had 3 weeks before I had to be back in school. And the bad part about it was because my major was exercise science, that semester I had 2 workout classes. I had a class to learn how to be like a group fitness instructor, and then I had like a weightlifting class to like learn different kinds of lifting techniques, forms, all of that stuff, so that you could teach it to other people. So I was like freaking out, because how do you go and be in classes where you have to be working out when you're gonna have a cast on your leg? Anyway, so I have the surgery, everything goes fine. I'm on crutches for God knows how long. I had a cast on. Anyway, so we go to the campus of my school to try to figure out, like, problem solve how the heck I'm gonna be able to do these classes and while I have a broken leg. So we go and we try to find people to talk to, and we ended up at the registrar's office, and the registrar was like, well, I mean, worst case scenario, you're just gonna have to take a semester off. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I went to the campus was very large and spread out, and it was the middle of winter, and I weighed like 25 pounds more than I do now, and I was on crutches because I couldn't put any weight down through my leg. And it got to the point at one point after he told me that, we were trying to go to the Office of Students with Disabilities, and I was trying to crutch my way there. And I was like so tired and so out of shape because I was overweight and hadn't worked out and had a broken leg, and I just started bawling my eyes out. I was so upset, and I was like, I don't want to have to drop out and like screw up the scheduling for all of this. And my dad's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So anyway, they treated me like crap. It was horrible. So then we went to the Office for Students with Disabilities, and the woman there was like so nice and so like welcoming and warming, and she helped me kind of figure everything out. She's like, I'm gonna email your professors and have stuff set up for you so that you are able to go to the classes and have what you need there. Like I had a science lab class, so she like emailed the professor so that I would have a stool instead of having to stand the whole time. Anyway, so I had a stool like in the lab so that I didn't have to stand the whole time. Anyway, and my professors for the exercise classes were like super sweet and understanding. The woman that taught the group fitness instructor class, like once I was out of the cast, the worst part was I was in the cast, right? And then like 3 weeks or so later, I had to be in a walking boot for like 6 weeks. So it was like, I literally missed half a semester of the exercise classes because I was in a cast or a walking boot and I couldn't actually work out or exercise. My professor for that was like super sweet, and she would come in like an hour before class started once I was able to work out, and we would like catch up on like the different like routines I had to like get graded on and stuff once I was able to do that. So it worked out in the end, thank the Lord. I'm obviously not with that boyfriend anymore. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience. When I went in for the surgery, like I think I cried from the moment I went in until it was over because I was like so nervous about it. I had never had surgery, and I hated getting IVs and stuff like that. It was horrible. Also, when it came to parking, like because we were on such a big campus, like I had to drive to the different buildings because I couldn't walk in the middle of winter, everything uphill on crutches. It was a nightmare. And so we like had to fight to get like a pass that I could park closer to the buildings, and I got like so many parking tickets because they'd be like, this pass isn't good anymore. Like my mom was on the phone to that school and the parking police there so many times, it was unreal. All right, so this is what I have so far, just around the outside there. I'm also gonna do this back panel here and then the swoosh. So I'm gonna finish this one off camera, and then I'll do the other one, and then we'll show you the results. All right guys, it's the next day. I ended up having to do 2 coats of the green on each part that I painted. They're dry now. Cher is over here. Anyway, so I will show you how they turned out. Beautiful, beautiful. I tried to paint the Nike here. It didn't go so well, but we'll pretend. From a distance, it'll look fine. Yeah, so I'll put them on and I'll give you a little taste of what they would look like on my feet. So I used acrylic paint, and I haven't put like anything on top of the acrylic paint. Because I don't know what I'm doing, but if any of you guys have any suggestions to maybe keep it on there as long as possible instead of having it like chip off or something, let me know down below. Also, this green color was like perfect, like more perfect than I could have thought. It's like the exact color I wanted, and I didn't think I would be able to find that like straight out of a bottle. I thought I was gonna have to mix up colors, so I'm pretty excited about that. Wow, these shoelaces are so long. Okay, so ta-da! So this is them on my feet. I really like them. I love the color. Oh, that's my scar from the ankle surgery I had to get right there. I ended up, also don't mind my quarantine non-shaven legs. Yeah, I ended up actually having to get 2 surgeries, one to get the pins put in, and then a few years later I broke the pins working out and I had to have the pins removed. But anyway, so I don't know that I really officially ended the story, gave you all a moral to the story, because you know, that's what we have to do. I guess moral to the story is everything works out in the end for the most part. Don't give up. You know, I had to go to like this, from the registrar, I had to go to the person who led the students with disabilities, and I had to go to my professors. Like if you ask the right people and you ask the right questions, usually you can get the answers you need. Thankfully, I didn't end up having to take a semester off of school. I was able to finish. I'm a physical therapist now, and you never know, I broke my ankle. Anyway, I think I wanna buy another pair of these and do the outlines. Like, do what I wanted to do with the black paint. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to film Amberlynn's workout routine video that she had put up either today or tomorrow and have that out for you guys as soon as I can. Thank you guys for watching this. If you've made it this far, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more from me, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload. I always leave my Twitter and Instagram link down below so you can follow me over there if you'd like. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to wash your hands, and I will see you in the next one.